Bullies trap new black girl in locker for 1-2 hours. Unaware she is a karate black belt. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. She was the quiet new girl, black, soft-spoken, and barely noticed in the crowded school halls. But that didn't stop the bullies. One cruel prank after another escalated until the unthinkable happened. They locked her inside a school locker. They left her there for 12 hours. No food, no water, no way out. They laughed, thinking she'd cry, beg, or break. But they didn't know who they had messed with. Because when she finally stepped out, everything changed. What happens when the victim turns out to be the most dangerous one of all? Watch until the end. Chang was 25 and had just transferred to Crestwood Community College after moving from Atlanta. She kept her head down, focused on her classes, and wore her hair in a bun, her posture upright, military, almost. What no one knew was that she'd trained in martial arts since she was 6. A black belt in karate, she had trophies at home and discipline in her bones. But to the students here, she was just the new black girl, someone to target. The whispers started first, then came the tripping in hallways. Then her books scattered and stepped on. She never reacted. She didn't flinch. That bothered them. They mistook her silence for weakness. And in a school that rarely punished bullies, that was dangerous. She was being watched, singled out. But still, she said nothing. Until one Friday afternoon, after classes had ended, they finally took it too far. Chang stayed behind after her last class to finish an assignment in the library. When she left the building, the halls were nearly empty. That's when 3 girls she recognized from earlier incidents approached, smiling too wide, standing too close. One of them pointed to her locker, saying a teacher had asked her to check something inside. Suspicious but not wanting to cause trouble, Chang walked over. That's when it happened, a sudden shove. A metal door slammed shut. Darkness, she realized. Instantly, they had locked her inside. Her fists pounded against the door, but it was solid. Their laughter echoed as they ran off, leaving her in silence. Inside, the air was thin. Hours passed. She heard the janitor's mop. Then silence again. Her throat went dry, her legs cramped, but her mind remained sharp. She meditated, breathed, focused. If there was one thing karate taught her, it was the importance of mental control under pressure. By midnight, the school was empty. But one janitor returned to clean a forgotten hallway. He heard a faint knock then. A firm, rhythmic tapping. He followed it. When he opened the locker and saw her pale and dehydrated, he panicked, but Chang stood up calmly. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She thanked him, walked out, and went straight home. She hadn't fought back yet. But they had opened a door they wouldn't be able to close. Monday morning. The bullies strutted in, laughing, ready for another round. But this time, Chang stood in the middle of the hall waiting, calm, silent. A crowd gathered. She stepped forward, said nothing, but dropped her backpack to the floor. One of the girls pushed her shoulder. Bad move. In a flash, Chang spun, controlled, precise. A leg sweep sent the first bully to the ground. The second lunged. Chang sidestepped, grabbed her wrist, and gently flipped her onto her back. Gasps echoed, phones recorded, no rage. No wild punches. It's just flawless technique and control. By the time staff arrived, no one was hurt, but everyone was stunned. The message was clear. She could defend herself, but she chose not to harm. Power without violence, mastery without ego. The girls who mocked her now couldn't meet her eyes. The video went viral. Local news picked it up. Student trapped in locker uses martial arts to defend herself. School officials were forced to act, suspensions, apologies, new policies, but for Chang, it wasn't about revenge. It was about dignity. She'd survived 12 hours alone in darkness, but she never lost her light, and those who saw her now didn't know a victim. They saw strength, restraint, and honor. She reminded them that silence isn't weakness, and kindness isn't a sign of submission. In a world where too many black women are underestimated, overlooked, or mistreated, she stood tall, not just for herself, but for others like her. So, next. Time you judge someone by how quiet they are. Ask yourself, what kind of fire burns behind their stillness? Which country and city are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. Let's make this conversation global.